Welcome, Libra, to Pacific Tarot. My name is Regina, and I'm going to be doing your mid-monthly reading for the month of July. I am welcoming you to my new channel. If you find this content useful, please like, share, subscribe, and or comment. The feedback would be useful. And I thank you for your presence today. Let's get started. Libra for the month of July, mid-month of July. Libra for the mid-month energy of July. What's up for Libra? So I always pre-shuffle the cards and in preparation for my readings, but I do like to do. The card that represents you is the Lord of Swords. You're crossed by the Ace of Swords. The goal is the Servant or the Page of Wands. The foundation is the Fool card. And the past is the Ace of Jades. The future, immediate future, is the Servant or the Page of Swords. The card representing you is the Devil. You see that? My camera's a little different. The environment is the Warrior of Cups, the Knight of Cups. And for your hopes and fears, we have the Six of Cups, and your outcome is the Three of Swords. Okay, let's start with the card that represents you. This is the card that describes the situation you're facing right now. The King of Swords is a card that indicates a strong desire to understand the truth, to align your actions with the truth as you understand it. So you're definitely in a position of control and mastery in your universe, and you have gained that position by exerting and aligning yourself with what you see to be the truth. And this is of utmost importance to you. You are detached, and detachment is the tool that you use right now in pursuing what looks to be like the truth. This inspiration, it's crossing you. This is a resource of a new idea, a new project, something that's inspired you to start something new. The Ace of Swords is a strong indication of victory, something that is destined to be successful. And for your goal, you have the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is the energy of being open to learn something new. This is you wanting to learn something, to taking things step by steps. With Wand, you're pursuing not only a passion, something that you're good at, a skill that you're competent at and you'd like to improve, but you're also building on a project or an idea. You're willing to grow and you're willing to learn the steps. So this detachment here is serving you well. In your foundation, you have the Fool. And the Fool card sort of underscores this willingness to take a risk. This willingness, this strong intuition you have, this strong inspiration you have to try something new, try something you haven't tried before, and to not necessarily know what the answer is. You're going somewhere, you're going into uncharted lands, into the unknown, and you are armed with the truth. In the past, we have the Ace of Jades. So this is the second ace, and this indicates that you began this as a way, this was an opportunity. This began as an opportunity to make money, to create something useful, to create a product, to create a thing that would be useful, that would be helpful, and that could have been even an income stream, to grow it. So growing a new business, perhaps inspired by this new idea. And in your immediate future, you again have the Page of Swords. So this indicates to me that you are really aligning yourself with your intellect, with your ideas, with your ability to think logically and rationally. You are using your ability to detach from your ideas emotionally to help steer you forward. Okay? And you have, as the card that represents you, you have the Devil card. The Devil is not necessarily a negative card. It's a rich card. It definitely indicates that you are in the position of making a choice, much like the Lovers that the card sort of visually mirrors. But this card emphasizes that you do have a choice, but you don't know it. So I'm feeling from the cards, previous cards, that you feel that there is one way to do something, or this is what you've known, one way to do something. You're obligated, you're responsible, you take control. The King of Swords is definitely someone who has mastery over the situation, who completes tasks, who complies with their obligations and responsibilities without question, who is following the script. And that is something that has led you to a sense of being stuck and has perhaps precipitated this desire to jump out and try something new. It's not on a whim that you're turning away from something new. You've been inspired. You've been inspired to pursue a new idea, and this is building on something you began in the past, in the recent past. Okay? So the Warriors is in the Knight of Cups, the Warrior of Cups in the Shulton deck, indicates that you are, this is your environment. You're surrounded by love, self-love. This is something I'm sensing that you're cultivating. This self-love that you're cultivating comes as a result of recognizing that you don't have to do things the way they've always been done before. And this led you to a lack of love, a lack of recognition, viewing yourself and others viewing you as a cog, as a dutiful, responsible member of society in such a way that your work and your efforts are assumed rather than recognized and celebrated. And that has wounded you, that has exhausted you, that has drained you. You feel imprisoned, you feel bound, you feel stuck, you feel like you have no imagination, there's no way out of this. Whereas here, you're giving yourself that love, your environment, you're seeking an environment of comfort, of healing, of great love. And healing is really something that is newly familiar to you. This is a totally different energy than the way you're used to operating. Libra, this is very much your natural energy. So I see you very much, because Venus rules you, and Venus is love, relationships, your emotions, your desire for balance, beauty in the world. And you've really aligned yourself, it looks like, with your rational, intellectual energies, your thinking self, your balanced self. But that balance has not included a way to feed yourself, to give back to you. In the Hopes and Fears card, the Six of Cups is very much about searching your past, being inspired in some ways by your past. Don't forget, we have these two Servant cards here that are both indications of tapping into a childlike energy, that you may not, or some skill or memory or resource from your past. Something that came easily, something you enjoyed without effort. And here, again, in the Six of Cups, sixes are balances, Libra, this is where your hopes and fears reside. So this thing, this skill, this person, this event from your past that is resurfacing your life, this aspect of yourself that you've totally repressed is now coming out, is now finding expression in your life. And you are hopeful because a life of balance in relationship is what you desire, what you hope for. And that relationship can be a relationship with an individual, it can be a relationship with a community, a team, a family, it can be a relationship with yourself. And this is part of healing. But it is a fear is getting lost in your emotions, getting lost in your self-care, getting lost in your own ego. So that's a fear for you, and it's not well-founded because you're a very strong, balanced, fair individual. You do have a love of beauty and of value. You place a lot of value on relationship. Yet, your outcome is the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords indicates a lot of disappointment. A lot of disappointment. And in some ways, it's leading me back to this, not only the Devil card, right? A relationship you were locked into, a situation you felt bound to, you felt obligated to stay. There was no imagination, no joy, no life, no camaraderie here. And yet you did not feel free. You could not walk away. You were chained to that situation. You felt stuck. And the Fool card, your way out, your desire, your deep desire right now to turn your back on it all and to try something new, go into uncharted territory. So this is telling me that you've had some disappointments, you've had some suffering, and this healing journey, interestingly enough, is kind of leading you, giving you the strength, with all of the strengths that you've exhibited, that you have, to actually look at this pain. Now you're looking at this pain. So in your efforts to care for yourself, to fill your cup, your own cup of love, to establish a relationship with your higher self, through your past, through a reconnection with past people or feelings, events, or skills, you're now feeling strong enough, feeling clear enough, with enough detachment to experience these heartaches, to experience the sword, to look at the suffering that you've endured. I'm going to clarify the outcome cup, the Three of Swords, with the Egyptian Tarot. Ancestors and guides, please help us to understand the Three of Swords. Tell us the story of the Three of Swords for Libra in mid-July. Please tell us the story. Okay, so I see the Ace of Swords. I see the Four of Swords, and I see the Eight of Wands. Interesting. Okay, so the Ace of Swords is repeated here. And applying to the Three of Swords, this is telling me, again, you are pursuing the truth. And it's no mistake that that sword is a dagger. That sword can be a dagger that we dig within to excise that kernel of truth in our suffering and our experiences. So this is a lot of power. And I might add again that the Ace of Swords indicates a victory. So in your effort to pursue, to find this truth with which you can align, you are sure to be victorious. And the Four of Swords builds right on the Three of Swords, right? In fact, the Three and the Ace of Swords equals the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords very much so tells us that you are going within, you are retreating, you are laying low, you are in some ways you are getting recognition for the peace that you are earning. You are working towards your internal peace. And with the Eight of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands, I'm sorry, things are moving very quickly. There's a lot of communication that is going to be amplified in the next month, I would say, that's going to help you communicating with people. Of course, swords and Ace of Swords, the Ace of Jades. There's a lot of communication cards here. Air sign, you are a communicator. So my sense is that you're going to be talking to a lot of people about things that happened in the past. A lot of communication here. And the interesting thing about the Eight of Wands is with so much energy coming, so much focus on the goal of communicating about your truths, it is going to be a much more focused and concentrated effort. So I think that your efforts at self-healing, self-care are going to serve you well and help to keep you protected during this time. The pleasant associations with the past are going to assist you, and those well-meaning family, friends, lovers, allies are going to be part of your pursuit of the truth. I'm going to leave it there with you, Libra. I hope you've found this useful. If so, please like, share, subscribe, comment. I appreciate the feedback. And I also thank you for your presence. Namaste.